Welcome into another edition of Celtics Spotlight here on the Carlow Sports Network. Sean Meyers joined by a senior on the softball team, Amanda Hu. And thanks for doing this. How's everything been going with you recently?
Not too bad. Just really busy with softball season.
Certainly. You've got a number of games under your belt already. To this point, both as a pitcher and a hitter, how have you evaluated your performance?
I think it's a little shaky for me. There's areas for improvement. But comparing from past seasons, I know I've been building my confidence each season and hope that will help with my overall performance on the field. So, yeah.
Well, talking about building the confidence, is there any specific area of your game that has really grown throughout your time here at Carlow?
Hitting. I believe hitting. I know when I first came in, I was very nervous to make a mistake, scared to disappoint. And now I've gotten to the point where I just enjoy going up to bat and not have any fear of failure on the field.
Well, let's talk about pitching a little bit because you get a lot of time in the circle. What pitches do you throw and which do you consider your best pitch or your out pitch?
Curveball. It's my favorite pitch to throw. It's my most effective pitch. I use it most of the time. It's my favorite one. I believe the spin and movement is most effective on the field, and that's why it's my out pitch.
Every pitcher has to have chemistry with the catchers they work with, and you have a couple that catch your games. How do you build that chemistry?
I think it's just building trust with our catchers. I work with them all the time at practice. We have pitching practices before our full team practice. I try to have small talk, get to know them more, see what's going on with their lives outside of the softball field, and that's just building more trust. And once we're able to build more trust, we can perform better on the field.
Let's talk about the goals. What have you set individually and for the team here in 2023?
I believe we all want to win. We want to have a better record, make it to River States, USCAs. And to do that, I think we need to produce more runs by hitting more. I think that's something that we're having a hard time doing right now, is building up a collection of hits to score more runs and then overall win the game. That's the point of the game. But individually, I would like to improve my pitching a little more. I know I haven't been really throwing as hard as I was before I came to Carlow, and having better command with my pitches. I want to be able to hit my spots and be more effective, because my goal as a pitcher is to make the fielders have less of a job on the field, make everything easier, pop up, ground up, and that's my goal for this season, to help us have a better record, win more games.
Let's talk about your head coach, Glenn Zinsmeister. He's been here the entire time you've been at Carlow. What are his best qualities?
I think he's just a very personal person. He believes in all of us. I know coming in, I didn't have a lot of confidence, but I knew him and our other coaches believed in me more than I believed in myself. I know I can always go to him for anything I need, because I'm from Texas, so I don't really have more adult figures around me, so he's someone I could always go to if I ever need anything.
You're now a senior, so you've got several years to think back on. What has been your favorite memory so far during your time here at Carlow?
I don't believe I have a specific memory that's my favorite. I think just being with all the girls is my favorite memory overall, the whole experience. A lot of us are very stressed with our own lives, and being together on the field, practices, or just any time together is a way to stress relief our things from our outside lives.
Let's rewind. What led to your decision initially to come to Carlow University?
Nursing and softball. I've always wanted to become a nurse, and when it came to the recruiting process with softball, a lot of schools in the South don't particularly like players who are in the medical field, because they have a lot of we have a lot of clinical hours, a lot of schooling, and it got in the way of softball schedules and games. And communicating with Larry Miller and Coach Glenn, I learned that most of the team are nursing majors, and they're very accommodating to our schedules, and I believe that coming here to Carlow was the best decision for my future, because I was able to play softball and eventually become a nurse.
Well, you just answered the major, but what's an ideal future profession in the nursing field for you?
So I am currently on track to become a nurse anesthetist. right now, after graduation, I'll be working at the cardiothoracic ICU at Presby and hopefully work there for a couple of years to gain my experience before I go to grad school for anesthesia.
You mentioned that you're from Texas. The vast majority of this roster is comprised of girls who played in Western Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
So what were the biggest adjustments for you?
I know people may say weather, but I think just adjusting to a whole new schedule of being by myself with school. Back at home, I ate, sleep, breathe softball, every day was practice. We even had, I learned from the girls on the team that here in Pennsylvania, they don't have a softball class built in their schedule at school. So we had a softball class. We would practice outside of school. I would go to lessons, practices every single day. And I think adjusting to that here by myself was really hard because I was so used to a heavy hit schedule, and coming here was more relaxed with practices, and was a little bit hard for me to adjust to.
Well, speaking of hard, what has been the most challenging college course that you've experienced?
I believe it's critical care. It's a very challenging course with very intense content because when you're working in a critical care setting, it's very vital to know how to react and use your clinical judgment to act correctly in the hospital. So learning how to do that naturally and transition to it into the real world is really challenging, but I think with more experience and learning, I'll be able to get there.
So you attended Morton Ranch High School in Texas. What was your favorite memory there?
I think my favorite memories were our tournament days. Throughout the season, we would have random tournaments that we would play other schools that were not in our district. It was nice because I would be able to see girls that I played outside of school with at schools that I normally don't see in conference. So just being able to play with my friends and have a good time is what I really enjoyed being there.
Let's say I make you the commissioner of NCAA softball and say you can change one rule. What would you change about the game?
I believe it would be the double bag rule at first base. I think it's effective to have one for safety purposes because I play first. So I know having to tag the bag with only one singular bag is a little rough with runners coming at you. So having that safety bag is pretty beneficial.
And we've just seen Major League Baseball expand the size of the bags for similar reasons.
Mm-hmm.
If you could eat just one meal for the rest of your life, what would you choose?
I think it would be sushi. Yeah, I really like sushi. It's not super heavy, but it's good at the same time. So.
Lastly, what's your favorite vacation spot or a place you've always wanted to go?
Hawaii. I really like Hawaii. I've been there twice. I hope to go some more. I enjoy the culture and the environment. I think it's really beautiful there. So.
Well, Amanda, thanks so much for taking the time to do this. We appreciate it. Good luck the rest of your senior season.
Thank you for having me.
That's Amanda Hu here on the Celtics Spotlight.